as much free time for me, girl time for me, as it is for you. So thanks to Megan for having us here.
Yes.
I met Megan a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I've been really excited to be here to meet all of you. I love when I meet awesome women and they introduce me to all their awesome friends. So before I get started, is there anyone who has never been to a party like this before?
There's a lot.
Right. I love it. All the party virgins. Okay. I'm excited to get to be your first experience. Those of you who have been to parties before, every consultant is a new party, so I think we'll have some fun tonight. I'm going to come around and rub something on everybody's wrist before we get started, okay? If you'll offer me one wrist, you don't have to rub it in, you don't have to do anything special, just let it absorb into your skin. We'll come back to it here in a minute, okay? You can just let it sit and then... Yeah, you can smell it right now, but we will come back to it here in a minute, and I think you might be surprised.
I'll sit down by Lex.
Okay, so let me introduce myself and a little bit about the party, especially for those of you who are first timers. My name is Dani Todd. I attended my first Pure Romance party about 6 years ago. I was one of those girls who actually avoided these parties. I got invited to several of them, and I was like, no thanks, women do kinky, naughty, illegal in Utah kind of stuff, and I don't want anything to do with it, right? So I kept my distance until a friend of mine whom I'd grown up with, someone that I highly respected, and I knew she was that zip lip conservative type. I'd never heard her mention anything about sex. So when she invited me to one of these parties, that didn't make sense to me. I thought either I'm really wrong about my friend or possibly really wrong about these parties. And that was when I decided I better go find out why women get together for these. So I went to my first party and surprisingly loved it. The girl time was awesome, obviously, right? But my mind was blown with all the things I didn't understand about women's sexual health. And if you had talked to me before I walked into that party, I felt pretty confident about sex and my relationship and all the things I knew about it. I was the girl that people came to talk to ask all the questions, right? I had no problem talking about these things. But even me, I left feeling like, oh my goodness. And I won't tell you how much money I spent at that party. But I went home, I didn't tell my husband how much I spent until we used everything. And then when I disclosed it to him, he was like, that was the best money you've ever spent. So it obviously helped me and my own confidence and enhanced my relationship. So I became a Pure Romance believer. Fell in love with Pure Romance, and I hosted several parties. I told all my friends about it. Fast forward 3 years later, I was supporting our family of 6 as a realtor while my husband was getting his master's degree. And at that point, especially as the student loans started to accrue and debt was piling up, I thought, you know what, I love these parties. I love the products. I was in a new area, I wanted to meet some new women, and that was when I thought, this could be a great side gig for some extra cash. So I jumped into Pure Romance with the intention to do 1 or 2 parties a month. This was literally just going to be that extra side cash, and it quickly became so much more. I found that one party led to dozens more because this information was not only powerful for me, it was powerful for every woman that came into a party. So I left real estate behind, and I've been doing this full time since September of 2015, almost 4 years this year, and I've never looked back. My husband is now finished with his master's degree, and he could easily support our family, but I'll never stop doing what I do. I love Pure Romance, and I think you'll see that tonight. I found my heart here. So what is Pure Romance? I'm basically a traveling boutique, so I get to bring it here to you where you're in a comfortable and safe environment, right? This is so much more classy and comfortable than going to the boutique in store. The boutique in town, right? You never know who you're gonna run into there. There's always a creepy dude behind the counter checking you out. You don't have anybody to ask questions, you've got to read off boxes and assume you know how everything works. You go home, you're not happy, and there's nothing you can do about it. Here, I've got a presentation. You'll learn some really good information. You'll actually get to smell these things, feel them on your skin. I'm your sex Pinterest for the night, and all the questions you have, we'll make sure you get them asked, okay? Don't ask Google. You never know what Google will show you. So, you may be surprised to know that our founder, Patty Brisbane, runs the only foundation for women's sexual health in the nation. That means that we're not just a business trying to put money in women's pockets. We're literally at the forefront of women's sexual health research, and everything that we release onto the market has foregone tests and research on women's bodies, not on animals. We know that it's going to do the best it can do, not only for your pleasure, but also your physical health. So rest assured, you're in really good hands with us, okay? We've been in business for about 25 years, and we really know what we're doing. So after my presentation, okay, we can be as open and ask all the questions, share stories if you've got them, okay? We'll have fun together. This is girl time. At the end of the party, around the corner in that front space. If you noticed when you walked through the door, I brought the store with me. I've got all the things I'm going to show you in stock here tonight. And that shopping experience is a one-on-one time where we can talk about things maybe you're not comfortable asking in this public setting. Things that are more sensitive to you, things you've just been curious about, okay? It's a really good experience if you would like some of that confidential time. And you go home with a black bag full of goodies, so unless you come out and dump it out for everyone to see, no one knows what you're up to, okay? We're all about confidentiality and safety here. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about the party. Let's play a little icebreaker game so I can get to know a little bit about you. I gave you some blackboards. You can see you got 2 pieces of paper there. Pull the small card out. It's just a little scratch paper. I want you to write. You got a pen in your hand, okay? Scribble and make sure it writes. Sometimes you run into a dud. But I'd like you to write on this piece of paper 4 things. Number 1, an item you currently own that you no longer want or need. This does not have to be sexual. This is anything in your home. If you
My husband.
It's funny you say that. Okay, so if you're gonna have a yard sale tomorrow, what's the first thing you would get rid of? Okay, write that item down. If you recently re-condoed your home, this might be hypothetical. Something you recently got rid of. Write it down. Number 2, write down the price you would ask for that item. What is it worth to you? Not what did you buy it for, what would you sell it for? Number 2. Number 3, give me the reason that you have this item. Why is this item in your life? How has it served you? And then number 4, now the reason you no longer want or need it. Why are you getting rid of it? I'll give you a minute to write that down.
Wait, the price
That you would ask for it. Yep, the price you would sell it for. You might be donating it to DI, right? Just get it out. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute.
There's also a little yard sale in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm impressed with how quickly you responded. I've had some women who, like, the idea of getting rid of anything scares them, and I'm like, I'm not going to come to your home. I'm not going to take anything away. You can keep it. This is all just for fun. We're all just for fun. Okay, does anybody need another minute? Okay, this is what I would like you to do. Cross out number 1. Cross out your item. Replace this item with the title of your partner. Husband, fiance, boyfriend, if you're single, maybe a celebrity crush, whoever your partner is. You're no longer selling this item, you're now selling your person. So, I'm going to give you how this works, okay? Because this is how you're going to introduce yourself. I'm going to give you my example. You're literally just going to read verbatim down your list. This is how it comes together, okay? Tell everybody your name. Your face. That was awesome. It's all fun and games. So, tell everybody your name. My name is Dani. I am selling my husband for $5 because I needed him for my kids, but now he just takes up space. Follow me? Okay, that's how it's coming together. I'm going to start over here.
Okay. My name is Aishalyn. I'm selling my husband for $15. More than yours. I used him to watch TV on upstairs. And it was, and the reason why I'm getting rid of him is because he was someone's before, and I want a new one.
He was used. Aishalyn, it's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Hey, I'm Katie. I'm selling my husband for $200, and we got it because my husband had to have it. He had to have it himself. That's the way I should have worded it. And we're getting rid of it because he's a waste of time.
I got better things to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm getting rid of my husband.
Tell us your name.
Oh, sorry, I'm Lexi.
Lexi, thank you.
I'm getting rid of my husband for $30 because I needed him to store my daughter's clothes. But now it's broken, loud, and ugly.
Lexi, thank you.
I'm Shanna, and I'm selling my husband for $20 because he was a Christmas gift from my in-laws.
That's funny.
And he doesn't match anything in our home.
Shanna, it's nice to meet you.
Nigel.
I'm Haley. I'm selling my husband for $15 because he was a wedding gift. And he's cluttering up my storage space.
I got better things to do. Haley,
Yeah.
it's nice to meet you.
I'm Peyton. I'm selling my fiance for $5 to $10. I had him because I wore him often, and I'm getting rid of him because I'm getting married and can't wear it anymore.
He's one of those kind. Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Megan, so I'm selling my husband Nathan for $500. I had him because I needed somewhere to eat, and I'm building a new one, so I no longer need him.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm Taylor. I'm selling my husband Sean for 10 Walkaroos. I bought him for my kids, and my kids have outgrown him.
Perfect. Taylor, thank you.
Okay, I'm Miranda, and I'm selling my husband for $100. I used him to decorate, but now my style has changed.
Miranda, it's nice to meet you.
I'm Liz. I'm selling my husband for $150. It was used for lots of lounging and jumping. And now he's falling apart.
You jumped on him too much. Liz, it's nice to meet you.
I'm April. I'm selling my husband Chad for $50. I got him to make my bed look good. Now I moved into a new home and have a new room and a new style.
Perfect. April, thank you.
And I'm Jessica. I'm selling my husband for $20. I got him to wear them, and I don't want him anymore.
Plain and simple. Jessica, thank you.
I'm Kristen. I'm selling my husband Chad. I'm actually donating as long as you come and get him.
Free to a good home.
I got him for fun photo shoots, and I'm giving away because I no longer do photo shoots with props.
Kristen, it's nice to meet you. Okay, all fun and games, obviously, right? This is kind of a fun game, even though obviously things you said are not true, right? It's always especially tender to me when I say you're now selling your partners, and ladies go, I'm not selling my man, right? No, the concept underlying this game, though, is true. I think you'd agree with me that things change. Your relationships now are different than they were when they started. It's inevitable because life happens, right? Just like health happens. Think about it. Our health is important to us, so we're paying for this beautiful thing called health insurance because we want to know that if anything ever happens, we're going to be well taken care of. This is a hypothetical question I just want to pose tonight for you to think about. I'll never forget when somebody asked me this question and what the switch that flipped in my brain, okay? When was the last time you spent that much money on your relationship? Maybe date nights. Date nights might be regular for you. Dinner and a movie are always great. Maybe gifts, if you buy gifts for each other. Surprises are always exciting. Maybe you have the money to travel, vacation together, and see the world. Those are all really good things for your relationship. However, at the end of the day, you can go to dinner with your dad, you can go to a movie with your sister, you can go buy gifts for your neighbor, you can go on vacation with your best friend, right? The only thing that sets your relationship apart is intimacy. What is that worth to you? Okay, I tell people I'm in the business of intimacy insurance. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. From mild to wild, we have something for every relationship. It's just important that you're keeping that at the forefront of your mind, okay? So I've got 3 rules in my parties. The first is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Any questions you divulge, any stories that are told need to be safe here. We're not going to leave this place and jib-jab about everything that we learn about each other, okay? Rule number 2, you cannot yuck someone else's yum. That means if I show something you're not personally interested in, something that would never show a debut in your bedroom, it's okay. There are people that feel that in every party, but in the same party, someone else is going to be 5-starring that product on her list. So unless you're present when the lady uses the product, this is a judge-free zone, okay? And rule number 3 is have fun. I think we're already off to a good start with that. I just really hope when we're finished with this party, you will have felt that your time was well spent and that you can leave and tell every woman that you know about pure romance, okay? So the next piece of paper here on your lap board is our guide for the night. Go ahead and pull that to the front. I mentioned you have a pen in your hand for a reason. This is your place to circle, make little check marks, take notes. If there are questions you want to remember for the shopping room, this is your resource. You can write to the extent that you please. You'll notice when you look at this list, there are 2 columns. There's a pink column and a black column. I used to show everything worth talking about in one sitting, and the parties, it was just too long for me and for the people in the party. So everything on your I call it my party menu, is worth talking about, but I've broken it into 2 different parties just to kind of change things up, okay? Tonight we're going to have a pink party because I am new to pretty much everybody in this room. People ask, what's the difference between the pink party and the black party? The pink party is like the necessity for every woman, regardless of your marital status, your health, your age, okay? The black party kind of adds to it, but this pink party is an excellent starting point for ladies that are like, where do I begin, okay? So we'll start right there. The very first thing on that list is called Basic Instinct. This is what I roll on everybody's wrist. It's pheromones in a bottle. Some of you may have heard of pheromones. Your body naturally produces pheromones as a sex attractant and a relaxant. So it boosts desire, it makes you want to be wanted, and it calms your mood after a crazy day, okay? Everyone's pheromones are different, which is why if you have a best friend or a sister who has an amazing perfume, when you spray that perfume on your skin, it doesn't smell the same. Now this has had a minute to sit on your skin, smell yourself, smell your neighbors. You will smell different.
Yours is very fruity.
It's usually peppery.
Yours is
Right here.
fruity.
No, this one ain't.
You smell really good.
Yours is like spicy.
Yeah.
Yours is like,
Oh no,
Mine's like
mine's like
flower.
really fruity.
That's yours.
Oh, yours is similar.
Let me smell the fruit.
wait, what are the meanings behind this? Is there meanings behind how it changes?
There's no meanings, but it does. So
I feel like ours kind of smells like
the reason all of you smell different is because every one of you smell different because your pheromones are unique to you.
Yours is more like.
So when this has a minute to sit on your skin, it will amplify your natural
Yours is more
pheromone.
floral.
So that's why you smell different than other people. But your own pheromones change as well, just like hormone levels change. So like April mentioned, you smell different than you might typically smell. The pheromones in your body change, but this is going to amplify what the pheromones do for you and your partner. You and your partners have been attracted to each other because of pheromones, aka chemistry. Have you ever been around people that your chemistry does not exist, okay? The pheromones don't flow. You and your partners have a chemistry, pheromones that flow. This will amplify that pheromone, okay? If you apply it to your pressure points, that's where your natural pheromones emit from. So behind your ears, your wrists, inside your elbows, and behind your knees. If you apply this to those places, it amplifies your natural pheromone and increases that attraction, okay? Okay, now do you understand what yes?
Do they have a guy's version of that?
This is gender neutral. It can be used for him or her. On the blacklist, I do introduce the men's products. We have a men's bath and body line. Their men's bath and body line have pheromones in them. And they smell phenomenal. Yes.
So that's one of my favorite things.
Basic instinct. Yeah, if anybody has things they want to share, please do.
Somebody once told me, and you tell me if this is
Sure.
right or not, but somebody told me that you can put it on like your kids and it helps them to like.
I know a lot of people that do. It's not
That's
necessarily
cool.
something
That
I
is
can
cool.
claim, but 2 things that I've heard from a lot of people, we just don't have the studies to necessarily claim it. On children, to chill them out, because it does like calm your mood. So they'll roll it on their kids. Also headaches. I know a lot of people who will roll it on their temples and they claim it does amazing things for headaches. I personally don't struggle with headaches, so that's something I've never had to try to remedy, but I get people that swear by those. So yeah, okay. Now that you know what pheromones are, I like to play a game in my parties. I have a feeling this is going to get really exciting tonight. I like to play games. So I'm going to introduce this actual product later in the party. Many of you might already be familiar with what this is, and it's phenomenal. I will introduce it about halfway through this presentation, okay? All you need to know right now is that this is a hot potato. It serves the purpose of a hot potato. I am going to use the word pheromones a few times because several of our products have them, okay? If I say the word pheromones, that word is a trigger word. And whoever responds with my name the quickest, when I say pheromones, you say Dani Todd. He's honest, okay? Whoever's quickest with Dani Todd, okay, is going to get this. If it's in your hands, you can keep it claimed if you say my name first. At the end of the party, whoever is in possession of this little heart gets $5 off their order. Okay, so if you're competitive and you want a coupon, this is your time to shine. If you're not competitive, that's okay too. Katie just claimed it pretty much, so we're gonna start it here. Okay, let the game begin. Okay, the next thing on your list is called Coochie. This is our #1 selling rash-free shave cream. Do I have any Coochie lovers in the room? Lots of hands. Okay, I want to hear from you ladies. Tell everyone else here what makes coochie different than anything else you've ever shaved with.
No razor burn.
No razor burn.
Truly.
Yes.
Truly. Everybody who agrees with that, raise your hand.
Everywhere.
I saw my leg. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Head to toe. I mean, it's called coochie. Armpits was my number one struggle. If your armpits are, that was what sold me. It looks like you have herpes in your armpits when it's all red and bumpy.
And it like makes the hair softer, so it's easier.
When it grows back.
You don't have to use lotion afterwards anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I need a bucket of it.
Yeah, they just nailed it on the head. So those things go hand in hand. Because it's such a good conditioner, it softens the skin and softens the hair. So if you can just visualize, when you take a razor through it, it's like cutting warm butter. Okay, there's no more pulling, no more abrasion, no more, okay? You also shave, if you can imagine, if the skin, let's pretend this is a follicle, and the hair is sticking out of it, if that skin is not softened, you're only shaving that much of the hair. But when the skin is soft and you take a razor over it, it's going to be pliable, it's going to lay flatter, you're going to shave less often because you shave more of a hair. Does that make sense? Okay. This is where most people's addictions to pure romance begins. We've got some nods, okay, that would agree. Coochie shave cream will be your shaving heaven. So shave with coochie.
It lasts a long time too.
That bottle will last 3 to
Less
4
is
months.
more?
Yes, it's very concentrated. A little goes a very long way. Okay. The next thing on your list is called Body Dew. If you'll offer me some skin, I'm going to give you a little spray of this. Go ahead and rub it in, just like you would lotion. Do I have any Body Dew lovers in the room?
Yes.
Okay. Katie, tell everybody why you love Body Dew.
Okay, so at the last party, Dani said that this was your favorite thing, right, Dani?
Yes, this is my favorite thing in the whole
And you
catalog.
said it'll make you shimmer or shine or whatever. And I was like,
Sultry.
yes. So I was like, I want to glitter like a stripper. Like I want to
Yeah,
have
I'll
a
give you
whole
stripper
feeling.
skin. Yeah.
And it's great. It's great.
It's true.
And I love because the smell, even now, there's a reaction for both of us now when I spray it.
Yes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you can feel, okay, it is an
I
oil.
love it.
A lot of people love coconut oil for hydrating. Coconut oil does not have pheromones. It's not
Dani
considered
Todd.
sexiness. Okay? The Body Dew has pheromones that makes you feel sexy.
Dani Todd.
I'm not the judge.
I think it was.
Ready? Over here. Give it a toss. Okay? So yes, it will moisturize from the inside out. We're upon tanning season. Your tan will last longer when your skin is hydrated. What makes your tan fade is dry skin that flakes off. Okay, so there's a hand.
So are these like the products? Are they really natural or?
We can't claim they're natural. They are pH balanced and pharmaceutical grade.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this like? This is coconut oil.
This is safflower oil and grapeseed oil,
Okay.
and then some other simple ingredients. I get a lot of questions about the ingredients, and anyone who would like to look at ingredients in the shopping room, you're more than welcome to read them.
Okay.
I've had very few people look and say, no.
Yeah.
So we really strive to make sure we get from the best sources and very reputable ingredients. Especially, I want everybody to know,
It's fine.
yes,
It's good.
Patty Brisbane, our founder, one of her biggest focuses are cancer patients. And so, you know, they're considering all the women who may have had health issues and things like that, and we're obviously trying to prevent against those things. So, okay, shave with coochie, followed up with Body Dew. This will give you stripper skin.
That's all I
Straight up
wanted was
stripper
stripper
skin.
skin.
We don't, well, we have some things in,
Well, something's in here.
when was the last time you went to a party? Because we don't have Pure Naked anymore.
You don't?
We don't. We have a new line, it's called Healy, but coochie is not in it, Body Dew is not in it. We have some essential oils and some things like that that have come into play with the Healy line. So,
Can I smell the coochie?
so scents, no thank you
Okay.
for the reminder. If you look at your list, next to coochie and Body Dew, see that little star, that asterisk is telling you that these products come in several scents. The Body Dew I just sprayed on your skin. The scent is called Love Story. If you love that scent, write Love Story on your paper. Don't forget that name. If you don't love that scent, when we get in the shopping room, I have 5 or 6 different scents you can smell, and we'll make sure to get the right one for you. Okay? Okay.
Yeah. I have a different one. I don't know what it's called, so all of them I smoke.
So Katie just mentioned, if you notice, that the scent of the Body Dew kind of it triggers something, okay? We all know scent familiarity. You can smell something that will take you a time and a place, whether good or bad in your life. There's no avoiding it. It happens, right? It's really fun to link your intimate moments to a specific scent. I did it on my honeymoon, okay? We've been married for 10 years. Even now, 10 years in, when I pull that lotion out, it's like a honeymoon all over again, okay? Both of us have linked that with a very impressionable experience. Obviously, many of you are past honeymoon stage, but it's still possible to introduce something. When you want to be intimate, produce this scent that flips the trigger for both of you, okay? Because sometimes that's the difficulty. One person's in the mood, the other person is not. You run circles around each other, right? So if there's a scent that flips a switch for both of you, it's really powerful. We have some fun pheromone perfumes.
She's like,
I'm really the worst at that game. People will start yelling her name. I'm like, oh.
Okay, thank you. At the bottom of that list is my phone number. If there's anything you want, text me, and I'll contact you, and I can link your orders here. And I'll be here till at least 9 or 9:30.
Okay, well maybe I'll come back even.
Oh yeah, after the game.
Yeah, come back. That'd be super fun.
Thank you guys. Here. I won't take all of the stuff you have.
You can take the list. Yes, you're welcome to keep the pen too.
I will. I'm taking that.
Okay, so you're welcome. Thanks, ladies. The first one there is called Truly Sexy Flirt. Okay, this name is spot on. It's young, it's flirty, super fun. If you smell it and you like it, you're welcome to spray it on your skin. Because it has pheromones in it, it will.
I think the whole time you said that.
Okay.
You started first.
It will be more powerful if it's on your skin, not on it. Obviously, you'll smell it on your clothes, but it amplifies your pheromones on your skin. So, we got some people coming up. The next one is called Seventh and Plum. It's another version of a pheromone perfume. A little more.
Oh, I don't know.
I think she won.
Oh, you really?
This second one, Seventh and Plum, is a little more sultry. Okay, a little more sophisticated. Both the Coochie and Body Dew come in these sets. Okay. Okay, the next thing on your list, we'll just keep going through these. This next one is called Body Boost. Do I have any Body Boost users in the room? Anybody used it yet? April's used it. Do you have any words on Body Boost?
Yes.
This is our... Not yet. Body Boost is our skin firming, lifting, toning cream. These are some before and afters that are coming around. If you were to Google Pure Romance Body Boost, you would see hundreds of results of the Body Boost, okay? Have you liked your experience with Body Boost? Are you willing to share anything about it? Where have you used it and why do you love it?
My thighs.
Thighs? Have you noticed the difference? Okay, so the active ingredient in Body Boost is caffeine. If you go home and research more about caffeine, caffeine basically rejuvenates cells, gets them doing jobs that they become lazy about, okay, with stretching upon pregnancy, with age and gravity every day. Your skin has forces working against it, and the caffeine keeps your cells working to do the jobs that they were made for, okay? I birthed 4 children in 5 years. During those childbearing years, I had some really phenomenal skin stretch. This was my best friend. I personally have used it on my midsection and on my face. It's really great because it's a tightener. It closes your pores. I never broke out with it. I loved it. If you're ever wanting to fight gravity, always make sure you're rubbing against it, okay? None of this jazz. You gotta go up. Fight the gravity, okay? So you're welcome to smell it, squeeze it out, feel it between your fingers. It's creamy, it's very neutral and clean scented. The coffee grind concept is the same thing with the caffeine. Some people use coffee grinds for scrub instead of sugar. Have you heard of that? It's the same concept, it's the caffeine, okay? In some of those pictures, and I have more to show, if cellulite is what you're fighting, if you can get deeper below the surface with more pressure and more intense massage, you can actually help those fat pockets break apart and smooth out those skin, okay? Okay, so that is Body Boost. The next thing on your list is called Miracle Oil. Excuse me, where is it? These are some more before and afters. Miracle Oil is a healing oil. This has taken the place of Neosporin and other healers in my home. It's excellent. It's an all-encompassing medicine cabinet. Okay, and you can see in this picture with rosacea, acne, cuts, burns, scars,
Eczema?
eczema. In the world of scars, if you have a scar that's reached the point that it's white in color, it's pretty much maxed its capacity to heal. But if you have a scar that shows any sign of color, pink, purple, red in color, that's a sign that there are still live cells that have the ability to heal further. So, stretch marks. If you have stretch marks that show color, okay, this is going to help that color fade. I have a client in her 50s, birthed 5 children in her lifetime. She's had those red stretch marks along her midsection for decades. They faded. They're gone because of this one product. My friend's little boy, bless his heart, they had to recircumcise him 3 times because he wouldn't heal. Even all the prescribed salves and things that the doctor sent home, nothing would heal him. This was the first thing that actually did the job. So, phenomenal. I have some clients that swear by it for acne prevention, all sorts of things, okay?
It took place in my lotion.
Took place in your lotion? Sure. Yeah. Awesome. I love that. A lot of my clients will have the Miracle Oil and the Body Boost. It's a little dropper, so drop some Miracle Oil in the Body Boost. When you apply it together, it's going to help lift, tone, and heal all together, okay? And then lastly, in this first section, I have something called Repair Balm. This is part of the Healy line that I just mentioned. This is our Healthy Living line. I got some more before and afters here. Repair Balm is a really intense healing balm for chapped, calloused skin. Namely, we're upon sandal season. Maybe your heels, okay? Nobody likes to get rubbed up on by sandpaper.
It's true.
So when you're wanting to be close to someone, okay, if you have these trouble areas that are really dry and problematic, Repair Balm is phenomenal. My problem area, because I have small kids and I'm always rinsing my hands in water, my knuckles, especially between my fingers, always get dry. Another trouble area might be elbows, okay, these places where they get really chappy. This Repair Balm is phenomenal. I'll come around and give you a little dab of it. If you have a specifically dry spot you'd like to try it on, share that with me. If not, just give me the top of your knuckle. I'm going to give you a small dab. Keep it concentrated right here, okay? If you rub it along your hands, it's going to create a barrier that won't allow the other things I'm going to share with you tonight to work the way that they need to. It holds 400 times its weight in water, which is wonderful because when you've used it on your hands, you can rinse your hands all day and it's going to protect them, okay? But tonight we don't want to create the barrier, we want your hands to be available. So I'll just give you a little dab and go ahead and rub it along your knuckles. Are there any questions? Oh, did I give you some?
Is that how much you use each time you...
It depends on where you're using it, but I mean, I think you can feel a little goes a very long way.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I love most about it, I'm going to be honest, the first time I used it, it was kind of a mind trick because I think I've always visualized, I've always been of the opinion that if you need to have deep hydration, it needs to be something really thick and heavy to provide that. This is really, really light. And when I used it for the first time, I remember thinking, this isn't going to do anything, it's not thick enough. And I was very pleasantly surprised. What I love most about it is it doesn't leave greasy spots. So if you put it on your heels, you can walk around your house and you're not going to leave Vaseline marks everywhere you step, okay? So.
Would you use that for eczema?
For eczema,
Not
I personally would probably lean toward this. I've had really good experiences with molluscum contagiosum. Anybody ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Cost me thousands of dollars.
Oh my land.
Oh,
Why? What did your doctors tell you?
He broke each of them off and we charged me like $400 each time.
No, I'm so sorry. Because do you know what it is? It's just dry skin.
Yeah, he told me that after. Yeah. So
I am so
I get
sorry.
my deductible though, so it was okay.
Okay, that's good. But maybe you wouldn't have had to. So this molluscum contagiosum, I use it as an example, and some mothers have been exposed to it. I have 3 of my 4 children have been exposed to it. It's like a cousin of chickenpox, but it breeds on dry skin, and they get skin tags like crazy, and they breed on dry skin. When I took my first kid to the doctor, he was like, "It's just dry skin. Some people burn them off, but burning them off would cause scars and it costs a lot of money, so go home and use lotion. That's all the doctor told me. I'm really sorry you didn't have that experience. But this, like, spot on. Because lotion, how many times do you have to apply lotion to actually feel like you're hydrated, especially in Utah? We're in a desert climate, right? So this really does a much better job of hydrating. So for really dry spots like eczema, either this or miracle oil would probably do the job, and they're both worth trying.
Okay.
I would probably lean
That
toward
one
this.
towards eczema, even not it's for my daughter.
How old is she?
She's almost 4.
Okay, so the biggest difference would be that this one does have perfume.
Oh, okay.
It is scented,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still pH balanced for so
Right.
great all the good things. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this first little section? I know you're like, I didn't come for a Mary Kay party. Why are we talking about all the lotions and things, right? We're getting into some sexy stuff, but this is sometimes the problem, is we think we can just jump straight to the sexual part. But you'll notice that this is listed as sensuality. Sensuality is about you feeling confident and sexy. It's all up here. If you're not feeling confident and sexy, there's no way you're taking your clothes off, and sex is usually better when your clothes are off, right? But we're the ones that are our biggest critics, and we're the ones that don't like to be seen naked, okay? All of this in this first section is for you, because we're usually taking care of everybody but ourselves. So that's what this first section is all about. But we'll jump into some sexy stuff, okay? Okay, it's about time.
Sorry.
It's about time.
I love it.
I know. Okay. The first thing there is lingerie. I love to talk about lingerie and what a tool it can be in your relationship, because believe me, I've been in business for 4 years. I've talked with thousands of women. Every woman has a different opinion about lingerie. But at the end of the day, what I want you to keep in mind tonight until forever is that lingerie is just a grown woman's dress up, okay? We all know a little toddler girl who loves to dress up. When she puts on a princess dress, she transforms, doesn't she? She becomes a little more sassy, she demands a little more respect, she might stand a little taller, okay? At the end of the day, when you're wearing the clothes that you worked in, when you're wearing the clothes you've burped a baby in, changed diapers in, cooked food in, dog slobber, like who knows what's on you.
Still in your PJs.
Still in your PJs possibly, right? Those again, that clothing is for everyone else in your life, okay? This is for those special moments that are for you. Probably the biggest excuse I get from women why they don't wear it is, it's a waste of money. It's just gonna land on the floor anyway. He doesn't need it, right? He doesn't need it. I tell women, I don't care what he thinks, because it's not for him. That's the most common misconception, is that somehow it's to turn him on, and most men don't need to be turned on, right? This is that dress up for your mind to transform, because when you put something like this on, you become a different person, right? Yes, okay? So we have some fun pieces. These ones hanging tonight are some of our most popular, okay? So I'm gonna hand these around. This first one, it is a 3-piece set. It comes with a thong, a teddy on the inside, this robe, super, super classy. You'll notice as it comes around, our lace is very soft. It's one of the biggest comments we get that sets our Pure Romance lingerie apart, is how comfortable it is. But the robe is fun to wear with any other lingerie that you might already have, okay? It kind of spices it up a little bit.
Or nothing.
Or nothing, exactly. Right? Wake up in the morning and cook eggs in only this, right? This is super fun. This next one is a romper. This is probably one of our most popular pieces. It's a one-piece. It does have a snap crotch, so easy access. It doesn't have to come off.
Hey, think about how easy it is with kids. How easy it is.
Yeah. I have never seen a body that this does not look phenomenal in. And I'm telling you, sexy is not a size. It's an attitude, okay? So that's another really fun piece. Work it. Okay. This next one, this is called Peep Show. You have to feel this satin to believe it. This is one that you can't understand when you just see it in the catalog. It's one of the classiest, most feminine pieces we've ever stocked. These last ones are bamboo. If you know about bamboo, bamboo wicks moisture and it cools your temperature. If you put this on, the minute it touches your skin, you can feel your temperature drop. Same concept. This is just another version of our bamboo options.
We're all Brennan.
Yeah, I knew your face.
Okay.
So soft.
I was like, I swear.
Because
So
I remember you
soft,
doing
huh?
one.
Shimmy, shimmy. Cocoa Boy.
It's from Target. I want to try to find that out.
Yeah.
For us.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, and she has maybe.
So you'll see when you get catalogs at the end. I will hand out catalogs at the end. These are not the only pieces we have. We have more pieces, and I have all of them in stock in all the sizes, from small to 4X, depending on the piece.
Do you have?
So,
Did you bring along with the black heart?
yes,
That's what I'm talking about.
it might be at the bottom. I can pull it
I
out
want
at
to
the
look
end.
at that again.
The
It's been on my
two-piece heart
brain.
one.
It's been on my brain.
It's pretty darn cute.
Yeah.
Yes. The two-piece heart. Yep, remind me, and I'll pull that out at the end.
Okay.
You're welcome to try our lingerie on at the end of the party, okay? Just keep your underwear on like you would at Victoria's Secret. If you come out and show, you get 10% off all your lingerie
I don't wear
tonight.
the right underwear for that.
Hey, there's no such thing as right underwear.
With the garments hanging
I
out.
have seen all the underwear.
I bet you have.
The garment ones are always the funniest
Yeah.
ones.
You can take my picture for 30%.
Hey! You offered, everybody heard it.
Yeah, we did.
I'm just kidding.
Snapchat comes out sometimes, so. Okay, so lingerie is super fun. Next thing on your list is a heart massager. Okay, this is gonna come right back to you, but I'm gonna share this now, okay?
Unless she says the word again, then it's mine.
The word. So, massage, ladies. Really the most powerful part about massage is touch. Never underestimate the power of touch. You're not the only one who's busy. He's also busy, and at the end of the day, the less you touch, the farther apart you get. The farther apart you get, the less you touch. The less you touch, the farther apart you get. I think we've all experienced that to some degree. Touch is the most important thing to make sure you always have that bond. I realize it's not always the most convenient, not the most comfortable, usually not the most fair. You give him 10 minutes and he gives you like 30 seconds, right? So we've got some things to hopefully even that playing field. This is a heart massager. It comes out of the box nice and squishy as it's hopped around. To those of you that have touched it tonight, you felt it comes out of the box just a squishy little pillow. But on the inside, it has a little disc. This disc is the size of a dime. Okay, it's concave. When you grab the disc and pop it in the opposite direction, you'll hear a little snap. And that snap agitates the inside. Can you see it immediately start to crystallize? Okay, massage those crystals around. It's immediate hot pack. Okay, 129 degrees. I'm gonna come around, just put your hand on it so you can feel the heat. 129 degrees. It's going to stay hot for about 45 minutes to an hour. After it's lost its heat, it's going to become rock hard and it will cool down, but it's reusable. All you have to do is put some water in a pot, bring it to a rolling boil, drop it in the boiling water, and it will boil back to the original liquid state it started in. So when you dump it out, it cools down, and it's like it was when it started, so the next time you want it again, just pop it,
Oh.
and it's ready to go.
Because I have that, and I thought you had to like
Boil it
boil
to use
it
it.
to use it, and I was
No.
like, I had to
That
go.
doesn't make sense, and that's super inconvenient, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like that's a lot of thinking ahead.
No, so all the instructions are on the back. Yeah. No, so that's the best part is, and honestly, this is one of those things that you want multiple of, because you may have already used one and it's waiting to be reactivated, but maybe you need another one. Okay, I have 6 or 7 of these in my home, and as we use them, I just pile them, and when they're all ready to boil, I boil them in bulk, and then they all just start back over. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it's meant, I will show you that it's meant to be your massage product. This is what you massage with. But think about the versatility. If you are prone to cramping, you can pop this thing and tuck it in your pants. No one even knows it's there. You're already bloated. What's that time of the month? What's 1 more inch? Maybe? Right? If you're cold at a ball game, camping, okay, super, super versatile, very handy. So it's meant to simulate an in-home hot stone massage. So if you'd like to feel, I'm going to come around and give you a little rub with our, Katie's like, I'm ready. This is Serenity. It's the next thing on your list. It's our aromatherapeutic massage lotion. What I love most about this lotion is how light it is. If you've had the same experience I have had with a good massage, phenomenal. Love, love, love a good massage, but you go home and you feel like you have to shower because you're gonna stain anything you touch, you're gonna stick to anything you touch, right? It's usually a really heavy oil. this gives you a nice glide, just enough for a good massage, but it absorbs nicely, smells phenomenal, all the good things. So if you'll offer me a little bit of skin, I'll give you a little rub so you can feel it with the heat.
Yeah.
Nice, huh? I love it because my problem.
How much time has she just got?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, that smells really good.
Now you guys will be fighting for the heart a little more, right? I love it because my problem is my hands always get too tired, too fast, and this takes all the work out of it. It's just nice, easy heat. I'll come to you while she's getting me some more skin. You're okay.
Give her more skin.
Is that
It's nice, huh?
what it says?
Oh, there you go.
So the Serenity does have another scent. It's a water lily scent. Yeah, this is a melon scent. It's a really light sugar melon. It's definitely the most popular. But it's just nice.
Yeah.
Really nice, huh?
And I need to boil my heart.
Yes. Now that you understand, huh?
Thank you.
Have you already called it?
Yeah. Oh, tonight I got one.
So it's sitting hard, huh? We'll help you. We got you. It's really nice,
The
huh?
worst part is I used it for Nathan. I didn't even get to enjoy it.
Oh man. Well, he owes you tonight.
That's right.
Just start the water now.
Yeah. You guys don't mind me. I'm just gonna go put a pot of water on the stove.
This is nice.
I know, right now.
It's nice,
So
huh?
if I ever come over and see this hard-boiled sawmill,
You guys to go.
part of the stove.
Okay, so super easy. Smells good. Like I said, that scent is a sugar melon scent. It's most popular. It's mostly what I stock. I might have our other option, which is called, it's a water lily, so it's a little more floral, but this is pretty just neutral, straight across the board. Everyone loves it. So this is still in your hand, right? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know.
So if you're trying to connect a scent with the time that you get intimate, there's a lot of scents going on here.
Sure.
So how do you, like, do you pick and choose?
Sure.
Because like you're not gonna go put on the perfume and then also the body dew and then do the massager, or how do you go about that?
And it's really going to be up to you. I would say, obviously, the coochie and body dew, things like that, are going to be more like everyday usage kind of things. It's probably more popular that people will use a perfume or usually perfume. A lotion, like the massage lotion, can also trigger it, but you'll probably choose something that you're not going to use every day.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're still not even done yet. There's still some more things that have smells, right?
You're not doing all of this.
And you're not going to use it all at the same time, right?
Hey,
there will be some things that you use. Yeah. Anything that you want to use on a daily basis is not going to be what you're using to trigger anything.
So it's more like
anything that's going to be used just every once in a while, I would probably lean toward a perfume.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people will choose a body dew
Yeah, me.
because it gives you the sexy skin.
Yeah, I get that.
I personally want sexy skin every day,
Yeah,
so I use
yeah.
it every day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay. The next thing on your list is a blindfold. What happens to your senses when you take one of them away?
The
The other ones get heightened. Okay, your other senses get a lot more excitable, a lot more responsive. So a massage with a blindfold is a whole new experience. It kicks things up a notch, okay? A blindfold is novelty. The top three things that bring couples closest together are routine. Things that you do every day together are very important. Adventure, whether that adventure is inside the bedroom or outside the bedroom. Things that you discover for the first time together are very important. And the third is novelty. When I say novelty, every woman's mind goes in a different direction. Let me hone that in and help you understand that the definition of novelty is anything that makes your normal interaction more exciting. Something as simple as a blindfold is novelty, okay? Lingerie, flavored lubricants, creams, specific scents, okay? Anything that spices it up and makes it out of the ordinary is very important for your relationship. So a blindfold can be something very mild to introduce, okay? The next thing on your list is maybe something a little more wild. This is called opening act. This is a bedroom accessory. It is a clitoral vibrator. We will talk about them in the sex toy world a little later, but right now I want to introduce this during massage. It's really ergonomic to fit right in the nape of your hand. Okay, you can see that. It just fits right there. The controls are right here where your thumb sits. I'm going to pass it around. I want you to give yourself a little neck rub with this. Oh, there's a spot
I
right
know, I
there.
might keep
Yeah.
that for a minute.
Everyone's like, I know it's coming. Yep. Okay. Just keep it above the belt. Okay. Opening act. It's rechargeable. There's no batteries here. Okay. It's a plug-in USB charge. It's waterproof. You can use it in the shower, in the bathtub, hot tub, whatever. 30 speeds, one for every other month. Super awesome. Okay. So, yeah, give it a good old hand dry and maybe something nice to It's nice, right? Okay, are there any questions while this kind of comes around? Okay. So, this is a point in the party where things kind of shift. In what way? Up until this point in the party, it's really easy, especially those of you who came with friends or those of you who have friends who already love pure romance, and you're like, what do you love, okay? Women are very influential for each other, and when you're with your friends, you're like, you like that? I like that too. You like that? Oh, I like that too. Up until this point in the party, that is a great way to shop, okay? From this point until the end of the party, it's really important to remember your body is individual. Yours is different than even your closest sister, okay? I think sometimes as women, when we have questions, we go to the women we trust, maybe a friend, maybe a sister, another family member. We go to them because we trust them to give us good advice, and they give us good advice. Pick up the leather, huh? Freaked you right out. When we go to these women, they give us really good advice, but their advice is based on their bodies, based on their relationships, based on their experiences in their bedroom, okay? It's very important from now until the end of the party that you remember you need to do what is best for you, for your body. You need to know your wants. You need to know your needs. I heard recently in a book that I read that we're like apple trees, okay? Every apple tree produces apples, but every sort of apple tree requires different upkeep, right? Some of them need more water, some of them need less water, some of them need more shade, some of them need more sun. Every body is just like those apple trees, and they're all normal. There's no normal, because we're all different, and because we're all different, we're all the same, right? It kind of gets complicated to think about that way, but sometimes we think we're broken because the way that people talk about these things and our experiences in that way, we think it's our problem. The key is knowing your body, your wants, your needs, and giving it everything that you deserve, okay? So the next thing on your list, it says O or AMP. These are arousal creams. Let's talk about libido, okay? Libido is desire. Desire is up here. Arousal is down here. Thank you. So libido and arousal are completely separate, and they need to connect somewhere in the middle for an enjoyable experience. Typically, when something looks or feels or smells exciting, these little synapses in your brain go, and that's what starts the blood flow, okay? Things go down below the belt, and that's what triggers the arousal, okay? What if you feel like this connection doesn't happen like it used to, okay? What if you feel like this connection has never happened? You're not alone. The things that take a toll on libido most are lack of sleep, dehydration, and prescription drugs. Namely, anything with anti at the beginning. Antihistamine, anti-children, aka birth control, antidepression, okay, things like this take a major toll on what's happening up here. And I think we all know this is where it all starts, okay? So if this connection is difficult for you, you're not alone, you're not broken, we have something to help. That's where these little creams come in handy. I'll tell you where they go, how they work, how to use them, and then I'll tell you the difference between the two. It's likely you will not need both. It's a matter of knowing which one is for you, okay? All you need is a pea-sized dab of one of these. You apply it to your clitoris. Clitoris, what's that? How does it work, okay? I don't have a diagram. I like to keep it classy with my hand.
I love it.
My hand-gina, follow me. Okay, your labia majora. What's popping out right in the middle, you might be familiar with this, is your clitoris, okay? What you see on the surface to the naked eye is not your clitoris. What you see on the surface is a clitoral hood. This hood hides the treasure for a very good reason. If you go home and lift the hood, you're gonna see something looks about like a jelly bean, okay? It's about the size of your pinky fingernail, maybe smaller, maybe larger. That's the tip of your clitoris. It's the surface of it. It actually goes inside. You're better endowed than a man is, but yours is all internal. Okay? 8,000 nerve endings packed in that tiny little surface area. 8,000 nerve endings. What does that mean, okay? To put that into perspective, that's more than his entire package. Start to finish, all the way around, at most, he has 4,000 here. You have 8,000 alone, right here. That's not including the rest of the vulva and the vaginal walls, everything on the inside, okay?
Jesus loves us more.
Exactly, right?
Knows we need the pleasure.
It's a gift. Literally, science has never found a reason for your clitoris other than pleasure. That means it's a gift for you to enjoy. If you will take very good care of it, it will take very good care of you for years to come. Okay? So, 8,000 nerve endings, the size of a small jelly bean. Do you think it needs very much to get it going? Probably not, okay? These are not trial-sized bottles. These are real-life-sized bottles. All you need, literally, pea-sized dab. Go home, lift the hood, dab it on the surface. You don't have to rub it in. You don't have to blow on it or do anything special. Just dab it on the surface of the actual clitoris, not on the hood, okay? Lift the hood, dab it on the surface. What it does is...
Well, not you.
That's true, but that's what's my visual. I know. Okay. Ready. Sorry, go ahead.
Lay under the ceiling fan. Okay, it gets blood going, it brings all the nerve endings awake, and it's like 20 minutes of foreplay in a bottle, okay? This wakes everything up, and you are ready to go, like this, okay? Some of my clients have husbands who know what this does, and they'll put it on their ladies while they're sleeping, and they're like,
That's tricky. That's
tricky.
Through that.
Okay, you can sleep through it, and that's why it's exciting, because it wakes it up. Yes.
I have a question. So I think I've had something like this.
Okay.
But I feel like it makes me really sensitive.
Okay.
And have you ever had that? People say that, like, it makes me sensitive to where it's not enjoyable.
To where it's a distraction.
Over.
Yeah.
Sure. So, the interesting thing is, going back to what I was just mentioning, every body is different. Everybody's body chemistry is different, right? Women always ask, what is it going to feel like? And I can't promise what it will feel like for you because of your specific chemistry. Some women report that it's cooling. Some women report that it's warming. The active ingredient is called triplex tingle. Triplex tingle is patented by Pure Romance, which means if you've ever tried anything else on the market, the active ingredients will not have been the same. So, some women have come back and said it became a distraction. It was not comfortable. I would say that's 1 in 10. The other 9 ladies, if they had an evacuation notice, this would be the first thing in their backpack to make sure it went with them. Okay? Trust me when I tell you, it would not serve me to show you anything that women have not reviewed highly, because I don't want you to take home something that's going to be a waste of your money, and I don't want you to give me a call a week from now and be like, this was the worst thing I ever spent my money on, right? So, some women...
Maybe I just use too much.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like,
using
you
too
know,
much?
said, like, yeah.
Pea-sized dab, and most women do not like an internal. That is one of the biggest. They didn't listen properly, and they've used it as a lubricant. This is not a lubricant. This stays external on the clitoris. Some women like the sensation internally, but you need to try it externally so you're familiar with that stimulation before you let it go inside.
Okay.
It is pH balanced. It's safe for penetration. You just may or may not prefer it that way. Okay? So the difference between these two, they're going to do the same thing, same concept. The difference is intensity. Okay? The O is the black bottle. This is most popular. It's pretty much universal for most women. If you need help with arousal, O is going to be enough for you. The AMP is one step above and beyond, okay? It's a gel. This is a cream. The AMP gel allows it to absorb faster and last longer. This will be for someone who struggles with feeling anything in her sensitive area, okay, in her clitoral area specifically. I get the question, what if I really want it to be really intense? Please trust me when I tell you, know your body. Even though more intensity sounds more exciting, it's not always the case, okay? So, like I said, most women, streamline, the O is perfect for you. It's also unisexual, which also makes it popular. This can be used for him. Dehydration, antidepressives, things like that are going to affect him as well, so this will help raise his arousal, okay? It also comes in flavors, which makes it fun. The AMP is not flavored, so, Okay?
That's what I
Any
was gonna
questions?
ask. Where do you put it on him?
Okay, for him, we've got some more fun places to explore. I would recommend starting from behind.
Okay.
Okay, behind his scrotum, his perineum. It's a little sack of nerve endings. Some people call it the taint. Okay, that's going to be an exciting place for him, and this will get those nerve endings going. You can also play with it on his scrotum. He might enjoy that stimulation on his scrotum. You can definitely use it on his shaft. That large vein that runs along his shaft is going to be an erotic zone for him. But just remember that if it's on his shaft and he penetrates, you're going to feel this inside. So be aware of that. If it's on his scrotum, behind his scrotum, it's not going to be going inside of you. So it's really dependent on where you want to be.
And that's I mean.
Yeah, I was just saying if I use it wrong, it feels like icy hot.
Yes,
in there.
yes.
So I'd be very careful.
Yes.
That's what I'm always scared of, is that it's going to be like that icy hot tingle, and I do not like that.
Sure.
But otherwise, it's good.
Yeah.
So knowing that for you is the most important thing, because some women really love that, right?
Yeah.
So it's really just dependent upon what you like, okay?
But it could be
Pea-sized dab.
different on different people.
Sure, exactly.
So who knows?
And if you haven't tried ours specifically, because the active ingredient is patented by Pure Romance, it will likely be different than other arousal creams you've tried on the market, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is the point in the party, now that you know the name clitoris. That is now our trigger word, okay? Any form of the word clitoris is now the trigger word. Good job. Sure.
Oh,
She's on it.
I didn't do that last time. I like it.
Everyone's so pheromones.
I actually usually do,
Do
but
you?
it depends, because that group was large.
We were large and loud.
That group was large, and I just got lost in the track of it, so I'm throwing you for a loop now too.
So
Okay,
if I have to leave and put the baby to bed, I get to take this, right?
you do not. Dang it, but we'll go fast. Okay, the next thing on your list is a lubricant. This starts my favorite part of the entire party. Talking about lubricants and educating women about lubricants is the most important thing for your bedroom. I'm going to come around and give you a little dab of this on your finger. Go ahead and rub your finger and thumb together while I chat with you about lubricant, okay? Don't wipe this off. It will defeat the purpose of what you're about to experience. Just rub. It's going to absorb into your skin. You'll understand why that's really cool just here in a minute. Go ahead and just give it some good friction. It's going to absorb into your skin, okay? This is a point in my presentation where some women will tune me out. They hear the word lubricant. Oh, I'm sorry. They hear the word lubricant, and they're like, psh, I am wet enough. I don't need any help. Okay? When women tell me that, I always tip my hat and tell them, congratulations, you're definitely a minority. Most women understand the importance of lubricant for the sake of pleasure, because a well-oiled machine always works better and feels better than a dry machine, right?
Amen.
Amen. 80% of women who struggle to orgasm, if maybe she's never orgasmed, she won't have a problem if she's using a good lubricant. Okay, so in the world of pleasure, lubricant goes a long way, but it's not only for pleasure. There are health benefits to lubricant that are, in my opinion, the most important reasons to use them. Two that I want to bring to light tonight, these benefits, okay? The first is lubricant serves as a barrier. Your body has a pH balance. Your vaginal pH balance is specifically it's its own balance, okay? And it's very fragile. Chances are when anything penetrates, it's not going to be clean enough to honor that pH balance. When that pH gets off balance, you struggle with discomfort, maybe a stinging sensation. You may not smell as fresh as you'd like to smell, okay? Those things will be remedied with a lubricant that's pH balanced to protect that barrier, okay? To create the barrier. Number two, benefit that turns on a lot of lights for women. It's like, oh my goodness, aha, okay? Men do not create moisture, they actually absorb it. Within 3 to 5 minutes after penetration, they've absorbed most, if not everything that you've naturally produced. So if you're lasting longer than 3 to 5 minutes, which you probably hope you are, if you're not properly lubricated, it starts to feel dry and like sandpaper. Okay, most of us have been there. That friction, okay, can tear your vaginal walls. Those tiny little tears become cozy homes for bacteria. Again, you might not smell as fresh, definitely won't feel very comfortable. You may struggle with infections, UTIs, things like that, that just keep coming back. Over time, those tears become scar tissue. Okay, everyone here is young, but trust me when I tell you, I get women in my parties that are in their 50s, 60s, Mentally, they're still 20 years old. They want to be doing everything they were doing in the bedroom as a young gun. Physically, it is no longer possible. Their vaginal walls, because of the scar tissue, cannot expand and contract like they used to. And think about scar tissue. I'm sure we all have it. Scar tissue doesn't feel anything, okay? Any sort of stimulation cannot be felt with that scar tissue. Okay, it's still going. Good job. Okay, so there's not one lubricant that's going to satisfy all of your sexual needs, okay? It's not just, I have a lubricant and I'm taken care of. You have different bodies, you have different moods, different activities, okay? This first one on your list is called Just Like Me. It's a water-based lubricant. It looks like everybody's done rubbing. Is it absorbed into your skin, okay? You're like, why did it absorb? That defeats the whole purpose of lubricant, right? You felt when I put it on your finger, it had a nice glide. So it can be applied in the moment, just like any other lubricant you may have used. Cool part is, let's say it's your birthday, it's your anniversary, just check the box next day, it's on your to-do list, right? If you know you're going to be intimate, you can put a pump of this on your finger. I love that it's a pump, it's not a squishy little tube. Put a pump on your finger, go 1 knuckle deep in your vaginal walls and apply it there, okay? It's going to absorb into the tissue, just like it absorbed into your skin. And it's going to lie dormant while you clean your house, while you run your errands, while you go to work, whatever you're up to that day. Later, when that hot and heavy moment happens, it can be as spontaneous as you want it to be in every room of any room of the house, because your natural moisture upon arousal will bring it back to life. I want you to lick your finger and rub it back together.
Boom. Why? What the heck?
Feel that?
Woo! That was weird.
Yeah, it's silky smooth, and it doesn't make any weird KY noises. Most of us have been there.
Yes. So, in general, the lubricants that you buy at the store are not pH balanced, or
They are not.
They're not.
Most of them are not.
okay.
Having a
So you
pH
have to
balance,
look and, like,
yes,
look on
you
the
need to
label.
look. Most of the time, you will pay for what you're getting, right? Most lubricant at Walmart, it is really cheap. Things like that are pharmaceutical grade are not going to be included in that price. In my eyes, you only get one vagina, right?
You do.
You only get one. It's not something you can have replaced. Take care of it, right? That's probably the most important part of your body to make sure it has premium products. So this lubricant is $20, okay? And I will tell you, this has changed more lives than anything that I've sold. I've had those ladies married for years who've come into the shopping room. Their friends told them, you have to get a toy. A toy will make all the difference. They're not using lubricant. I will send them home with a $20 tube rather than a $200 toy. They come back at another party and they're like, now I want it more than he does. The sensation is different, okay? One of the most popular things I hear is things like coconut oil, sometimes olive oil, okay? Please keep in mind that anything you're using in the kitchen, food-based things, have expiration dates, okay? Your vaginal walls balloon open, they have pleats. And when they close back up, they're gonna hold anything that was left behind. Things ferment, things rot, okay? So please, anything that's in the kitchen stays in the kitchen. Got me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the trick with Just Like Me, water-based lubricant requires moisture, okay? If you hadn't licked your finger and brought it back to life, it was gone, right? What if your body doesn't produce moisture? The next one on your list is called Pure Pleasure. Pure Pleasure is silicone-based.
I have one question about the other one.
Yes.
Is it edible?
It is
Because
flavored.
it
Did you
smells
taste
it
that?
Smells like, yeah,
It's
frosting or
donut.
something.
It's a sugar-glazed donut.
Someone likes
Oh, I love me some donuts now.
And it's sugar-free, gluten-free, lactose-free, all freeze. Okay? But yes, it is flavored for fun. Okay, the next thing on your list, this Pure Pleasure, is silicone-based lubricant. Okay, silicone-based has 4 purposes. Number 1, if you're dry enough, you need a replacement. Again, prescription drugs, dehydration, excessive exercise, alcohol, there are all sorts of things that will dry you out. If you're taking medicine to stop your nose from running, it stops her from running too. Okay? That time of the month, I mean, there are things that dry you out. If you're too dry, the water base is going to absorb and never come back, just like it absorbed into your skin. Okay, so silicone lubricant is if you're dry. Number 2, anal play. Your anal area doesn't create moisture. Anything that requires moisture will never work for backdoor play. Okay, number 3 is water play. If you've watched the awesome scene on the movie and you want to go try it in the shower and you're like, okay, we've all been there, and it's such a heartbreak because you're like, Hollywood lied to me. It's not a lie. It is possible, but you have to have proper lubricant. This is one that you would keep in the shower. This is like a must-have for every honeymooner, right? Everybody imagines like that hot tub moment or the bathtub moment. Get this for every bride you know, okay?
That was a good guess.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yep. So, if you're dry, anal play, water play, the last thing is marathon sex. If your activity is lasting long enough that you have to stop and reapply lubricant even once, bump up to silicone, okay? This stays on the surface and keeps you silky smooth for a much longer period of time, okay? Any questions between Just Like Me and Pure Pleasure?
Knuckle deep on the silicone too?
This one is not one that you can put on ahead of time. It's not going to absorb. You will feel it. It's not going to be squishy like KY, right? But when you're applying it, sure, one knuckle deep, or you can put it directly on him, whatever's most comfortable for you. It's also not flavored. It's also one, if I put it on your finger, you could literally sit here and rub for a while before it would absorb. So that's why I'm not putting it on your finger, okay? Those are kind of your everyday lubricants, like your brown shoe and your black shoe. You all have them. They just stay in your closet and you pull them out for different reasons, right? Most women have purpose for both of these in their lives for that reason, okay? But we also have some fun novelty lubricants. The next one on your list is called Sensations. Got some head nods. This one's more for the fun, okay? Offer me your hand. I'm going to give you a dab on the back of your hand. Go ahead and give it some friction and see what you feel.
What you feel?
Which flavor is this?
This flavor is Blue Hawaiian.
Oh.
We have Bavarian cream, hot buttered rum, cotton candy, grapefruit. Give it some friction. What do you feel?
Heat.
It responds to friction. It gets warm. It also
Blow
responds to a sexy breath if you give it a...
Sexy breath. I love your wording.
Oh my god.
And it tastes delicious if you want to give it a lick. Mm-hmm. Again, sugar-free, gluten-free, all the things.
Put that
Okay.
It got more slippery with heat too.
Yes. Okay, so fun for penetration because it responds to friction. Fun for oral favors because it responds to breath and it tastes delicious. Okay, that one's called Sensations.
What happens in Vegas?
Yes.
I was gonna ask. Which ones would you use with toys?
You're a little late.
We'll talk about that
you
here
get
in a
that? I
minute.
can't remember. Okay.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. Any questions? More questions? Because the next part's going to be your most fun part of the party. You ready? Katie knows it, so just okay. So this is another lubricant. This
This is
one's
our favorite.
favorite.
Love whip.
Yeah.
I have like 3 flavors.
It's fun. The flavors are super fun. This is another novelty lubricant. Hopefully, all of you trust me and Megan enough to experience this with your eyes closed. Give me a finger. Everybody, eyes closed, fingers out. If you're 100% uncomfortable being vulnerable with your eyes closed, I respect that. I will not make you do anything against your will. But if you trust me, close your eyes, keep your finger extended. I will tell you when you can open them, okay? Keep them closed. There's always at least one screamer. Let's find out who it is.
That's my favorite.
Do we keep our eyes closed?
Yep,
Not
your eyes
for
closed.
that? Can't see what it is.
Oh my god. Coming, coming.
That's like refreshing. Like,
Wow.
I should have been watching like.
Okay, we're almost done. Keep your eyes closed.
Holy
Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. That was not my mouth. I promise.
Praise the Lord.
It's another lubricant. You're welcome to taste that one. It's peaches and cream flavored.
Yep.
You can feel it's a little creamier. You can even rub this one into your skin. Okay? This lubricant is called Whipped. It's a creamier emollient-based lubricant. Emollient is a fancy word to tell you it's specially formulated for a man's pleasure. You just met the hand jive. Okay? This is a male pleasure sleeve. If this is a new concept to you, let me help you understand why this is your new little best friend. We've all had those moments when we are too tired. We have a headache. We're on our period. we're pregnant, postpartum, watching Grey's Anatomy. For some reason, you're just not in the mood. But you love him enough, you help him with your hand. Let's talk about that for a minute. 4 fingers and a thumb is not equal pressure. Figuring out the right grip, figuring out the right rhythm.
Getting arm pump.
17 minutes later,
Yeah,
you maybe switch hands a couple times, right? You're like, why doesn't he last as long inside of me? Right? Finally he goes, it's all over in your hands. He's the one that pieces out happily dead to the world, and you have to go clean off. Okay, enter the hand jive. This thing has equal pressure all the way around. I know you're looking at that tiny hole going, he's not going to fit in that. I can fit this on my forearm, okay? It stretches, but it's meant to be snug. All you need is some of that lubricant. You just squeeze it straight into the hole, about 1 inch deep. It slides right on. Okay, it has equal pressure all the way around. You can use it with rhythm, or you can hold it at the base of the shaft and tug on it for a sucking sensation. The best part.
I am just saying.
It sucks all for you. Okay? The best part is, 2 minutes later, 2 minutes tops, when he's done, it's in here,
Yep.
and he can go clean it out. Everybody give him a little, right? This is my #1 seller, hands down. And, yeah. This is the hand jive.
What's the best way to clean it?
We'll talk about cleaner. It actually reverses all the way inside out, okay? The trick is proper lubricant. Based on the things you've learned about lubricant, it should make sense why. If you use this with water-based lubricant requires...
I have to go get my baby.
Okay, thanks for coming.
I'm coming back.
Okay, good. We'll be here.
Hey, leave that here.
I know. Say it. May as well.
Clitoris.
Hand tap.
Oh. That works. Okay. It has to have proper lubricant. If you use this with water-based lubricant requires moisture. He doesn't produce moisture. It's going to be an Indian burn. Okay? It's like a water slide with no water. Okay? Okay. So here's the trick with silicone. If any of you have been in the bedroom accessory world long enough to know, silicone lubricant does not couple with silicone toys.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Here's the cool part. Let me tell you this. Our silicone lubricant, our Pure Pleasure, was just FDA approved for our silicone toys.
Okay.
This silicone is still a special, very pliable type of silicone. I wouldn't mess with this with silicone lubricant, okay? It's literally like the printer and the ink. It has to have proper ink for it to work. He's never going to want this more than you. It literally becomes that best buddy. When you want to tell him no, you don't have to tell him no, and it's fun. You'll probably laugh every time you'll use it because you'll see facial expressions you've never seen before. So, okay? Any questions?
Which part of the penis would you use like the sucking sensation on? Like, would
So,
you just look at it?
slide it on him, and you've got to hold it at the base of his shaft and you rest his body, and then
Okay.
tug on, whoops. Okay, hold it
Put
at
it
the
on
base of his shaft.
securely.
Yeah. And then hold it and tug on the end.
Because
Okay.
it's sucking down here, or the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh, the
Yeah,
whole
the
thing.
top will suck. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. When he's going, okay, so here's the thing. It's open-ended.
Yeah,
Okay?
it doesn't matter which side, right?
It doesn't matter which side. When you can tell he's going, you can see the facial expressions, maybe some sounds, you know he's going. Just focus on the tip, focus on the head. That's where the real excitement is for him anyway. You don't have to give him full strokes at that point, so stay focused on the tip to keep it contained. The cool part about this being open-ended, if you or anyone you know experiences pain with deep penetration, sometimes like endometriosis and other health issues make pain very painful because of the penetration. Something like this can go on his shaft, and he can penetrate through the other end, and it will serve as a pillow to take some of that length off. Does that make sense? It's also a great help when if you're introducing anal play for the same reason. Okay, it takes some of the length off so you don't get impaled. Okay, so some fun things, something to consider. Okay. So
And you just pinch the end of it.
you just pinch the end to
whenever
keep it.
so
When he's
it
ready,
stays
so
in
it
there.
doesn't shoot out, because that was my thing. There's
And-
no stop.
You gotta like hold it horizontal too when you go to clean it, because if not, I just rip it
Yeah,
off.
if he's holding
As you
on,
done,
you'll learn real
walk
Oh
out.
my
fast.
gosh.
Okay, but yeah, when you're cleaning it, it does turn all the way inside out. We'll talk about cleaner at the end of the party, but just turn it all the way inside out, give it a good rinse, spray it down, give it a good rinse, okay?
And say one more time what kind of lubricant you
Whipped.
Whipped. Oh.
I won't let you leave. If you want one of these, I will make sure you have everything that you need so that you have the experience you're hoping for.
We don't have an Indian burn.
Yeah, no Indian burns. Okay. So, let me turn something on. That's kind of a segue into bedroom accessories. Okay. I'm well aware this is the portion of the party that keeps most people from ever even stepping foot into one of these parties. We're a sex toy company, right? And there's a stigma among these sex toys. I used to have it. I know how strong it is. I know it exists. But the education I received in my first party really helped me understand why these things exist. I think it's helpful for us to think and recognize the differences between male and female bodies. Think about it. From the minute a male is capable of grabbing anything, if any of you have little boys in your house, what do they hold on to?
Themselves.
Right? Yep. By the time they're 1 year old, they know something exciting is happening down here. Whenever they're out of a diaper, if they're in the bathtub, they start spending time here. And as they grow, they spend more time here and more time here. No wonder as they age, it's so much easier for them to be sexually minded, sexually comfortable, sexually driven, right? Women are so much more complicated. Most of us have never been educated about our bodies to understand our capacity and to understand we have multiple avenues by which to achieve orgasm, okay? Vaginal orgasm definitely happens. If upon penetration, those first couple inches right inside your vaginal opening are packed with nerve endings. It's going to be stimulated by the in and out motion of intercourse, okay? G-spot, okay? If you've heard about the G-spot, it's not a myth. Every woman has a G-spot. If you were to go home and take your fingers in the shape of a hook, come inside and reach right behind the pelvis, push toward the belly button, that general area is where you'll find your G-spot. It's a hidden gem, okay? It takes time and patience, creativity sometimes to get it to come out and play. But as it comes out to play, it starts to engorge with blood, okay? It becomes a little spongy and ridged. That growth with blood puts pressure on the bladder next door, which triggers your brain to think, I need to pee. If you've ever felt the need to urinate during intercourse, that's your G-spot being stimulated, okay? Orgasms achieved through G-spot stimulation are arguably the most intense. Some women have reported having aftershock orgasms after achieving a G-spot orgasm, okay? But here's the issue. Vaginal orgasm, G-spot orgasm, these things are inside, okay? Through the years, because men orgasm primarily through intercourse, it's been the belief that women should too. That's the way that women should work too. But what we're finding with research and experience and talking with people is women have a lot of outer course going on, okay? Men, intercourse is their primary achievement of orgasm. We've got nipple stimulation that can achieve orgasm. Some women, it's erotic for toe sucking. Sounds crazy, but some people love it. Playing with your ears, playing with your neck. You have some places that are very excitable. Only 30% of women will achieve orgasm regularly through intercourse, okay? That means the other 70%, a lot of it is happening with outer course, okay? The clitoris is probably the most important part of your outer course. Good job. I like you.
Good. I need this.
She's ready. Okay, 8,000 nerve endings. It is relatively the most pleasurable and important part of any orgasm. 80% of women require clitoral stimulation for any sort of orgasm to be achieved. Okay?
What word are we saying? Dani Todd.
Yeah, she.
That.
Nice. Give it to her.
Good job.
I was gonna say, I didn't think that counted.
It does, any version of the word. So it's really important to realize, going back to what I said about being apple trees, right? I love that parallel, and I think it is really important to tune in to what works for you. If what works for your friend or your sister isn't what works for you, it's okay. The fun is exploring and discovering what your wants, what your needs are, and really maximizing those things, okay? When we talk about the clitoris, 8,000 nerve endings. Good job. Let's bring my little visual back, okay? Upon penetration, what is normal penetration doing for the clitoris?
Dani Todd.
It's
Oh,
like my
who's
favorite.
Dani Todd?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like the answer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, toss it over
Kind of
here.
hard now.
You can feel the process, the progress of it. Okay. Upon normal penetration, it's getting nothing. Okay. Unless something is manually happening here, you've got 8,000 nerve endings that aren't going to see their lifetime. Did you know that's actually why vibrators were invented? Have you ever heard of the movie Hysteria? If you ever want to have like the ultimate girls' night, the movie Hysteria is the story of the vibrator. It takes you back to like Pride and Prejudice times. These women were hysterical. They were experiencing hysteria. They were crazy people in society, and doctors found that if they made these women orgasm, they were much more level-headed, contributing members of society. So women would make doctor appointments. They'd go to the doctor to be stimulated by finger. 4 hours later, when she goes, that's wonderful, but who has 4 hours, right? No doctor has 4 hours. So surely there had to be a better answer. They started out as a crank machine, okay? Through the years, they have developed and evolved into what we have now today. Pleasure, absolutely. Health, even more important. We're talking about all these nerve endings. If you have nerve endings that don't get stimulated, they will die. That's what's happening here, okay? Something needs to manually be happening here. So we have some really fun accessories I'm going to introduce you to. Down the bottom of your list, you can see I have 4 categories. The first, I have couple toys, clitoral toys, G-spot toys. Good job.
I don't know how to.
Have it on either.
Wants it.
And dual action toys.
Gotta make that honeymoon good.
Okay. So, first thing in the couple toys is called Maya. Maya is a C ring. Anything with a ring like this is a couple toy, okay? C ring, C stands for constriction. It's going to slide down to the base of his shaft to constrict his blood flow, which will control his orgasm. Okay, this is constriction and control. When he's hard, this keeps it constricted. He's harder longer. Okay, this little thing vibrates. Upon penetration, it's a hands-free bullet. Neither one of you have to put any effort into this. It's present. It works for both of you. Neither one of you have to use it manually. Okay, it's just there. It's pretty darn awesome. Okay, that's called Maya. Go ahead and feel it and pass it around. The next one in this list
You want me to do this?
is called Double Feature. Double Feature is the same concept. You can see it has 2 rings. This is a couple toy. Constriction and control. This inside ring slides down to the base of his shaft. Okay? This outside ring comes down around his scrotum. Okay? I know it looks really restrictive. My hands are bigger than his scrotum. Okay? This is just a visual, but if you take it back behind his scrotum, this contacts his perineum in the back, which is an erogenous zone for him. He feels the vibration through the toy. This also keeps his testicles descended from his body. That's when a man goes. His testicles pull, and he's gone. So the longer you can keep his testicles descended from his body.
Good torture.
Good torture, yes. The blood trapped, he's harder much longer, and this is vibrating for your pleasure, okay? So that's double feature. Both of these C rings are going to require that whipped lubricant, just a little dab of it on the inside of the ring so that it slides on and off of him nicely, okay? Torture.
This is really tight. I feel like.
The
She
next,
got it all the way around. She did.
I know that's true, but that was just.
here's the thing, if you have a man that does not like his scrotum to be touched, you're not going to get something that's going to restrict his scrotum. He's not going to be happy with that, right?
Or his taint.
Or
You don't like his taint
if he doesn't
touched.
like his taint
We
touched.
need to teach guys
Okay.
perineum because taint is just such a
It's funny, huh?
interesting word. I love it.
Okay, we look at clitoral toys. The first one there. Good job.
Ah!
Oh.
Keep it.
The first one there is called Kaya. Okay, Kaya is just cupped easily in the hand. It's forked, and it's meant to hug the clitoris from both sides. It gives more of a flutter tickle stimulation. Okay, if you like a light flutter tickle type stimulation, you'll feel when this comes around. These little forks tickle and stimulate very quickly and lightly. If you don't like tickle stimulation, it's likely you prefer pressure type stimulation. This next one on your list is called Nadia. Nadia is also cupped in the hand. You can see it has a solid surface, a larger surface, and when it accesses the vulva, it gives more The stimulation is more spread rather than concentrated in one area, and you can put pressure behind it, so it gives more strength behind the stimulation, okay? So those are two examples of different clitoral stimulation.
It's like a bar of soap. You're thinking
so
it's a bar of soap.
I've never bar soap, I usually get mouse. People are like,
Really?
oh, it's like a computer mouse.
This like looks like bar of soap to me. I don't know.
Okay, if you look at
can use it in the shower.
That's true. With your
G-spot
wrist.
toys,
The one
it says tantalize, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tantalize is actually a dual action toy. When you look at this, it's got two branches, okay? Branches mean a dual action toy. But I like to introduce this during G-spot because this longer branch, which is meant for penetration, simulates that hook, okay? This is what penetrates inside. The smaller one stays outside for clitoral stimulation. Good job. Stop coming.
on it.
Alright.
Good
But here's the cool part and why I introduced it during G-spot. You'll feel when it comes around, the internal branch is rock hard. It is solid. And if the G-spot is a new place for you, this allows you to get in and really like explore and discover, okay? Every body is different, and most toys are just flexible enough that when you penetrate, and if you're trying to get any sort of maneuver in it, it's going to bend, okay? This is rock hard, very awesome for exploration, okay? So that's tantalize. It's also great if you need something that's a little smaller girth.
Okay, is that a replacement for penetration?
It can be whatever you want. It might be foreplay to get things warmed up, to get things awake, okay? When you're like, I'm not in the mood. If you have a vibrator in the bedroom, let him touch you for 5 minutes with a vibrator and it will wake things up, okay? So it might be foreplay. It might be when he's gone and you're still needing some more to finish. The most interesting thing to me, you felt in this room the excitement when I showed you the hand jive, okay? It's so normal for us to help him without our body, but there's something so wrong in our minds about him helping us without his body. The standard in your bedroom, it's just some things to consider, right? That there's nothing wrong if it is replacing. If that's the standard in your bedroom, that's okay with you. Some other women might not prefer it. It's really based on your experience. So the next G-spot toy is called V39. This is of our luxury line. You can see this blush pink and the rose gold. It's beautiful. You're gonna feel as this comes around, this has Kaleo heating technology in the shaft. That's what makes these most special. It's the same heating technology in the seats of your vehicle to get warm. So it's like a hot tub for your vagina, okay? Super awesome. Anything with a hook in it is meant to access the G-spot, okay? And then last but not least, if we look at the dual action accessories, first one here is called Nami. It looks like a cactus. We'll just get that out there. I know. It's a branch toy. You can see it has two branches, okay? Dual action toys have two branches. The longer branch is what penetrates. So this is going to come inside for vaginal walls and G-spot. This stays external for the clitoris. Good job.
You felt that coming. You felt that
It's just like easy peasy for her now. You're going to feel as this comes around, it's got a dual layer silicone, which makes it a little more lifelike. It's almost like memory foam, okay? It's also on two separate motors, which means you can stimulate at different intensities. It has two separate motor functions, so you can stimulate different intensities inside and out.
That's cool.
And the last one is main attraction. Main attraction looks really cool, but it's shaped this way not only for aesthetics. It was engineered by our founder, Patty Brisbane, alongside some female gynecologists. So as a team, they have the experience of being women. They also have education of being doctors to really understand how the woman's body works, where things are, how things go. You're actually shaped like a bowl on the inside, okay? This fits all of your curves perfectly. These little ridges access the G-spot for excellent stimulation there. And this narrow neck, this is what makes this toy most special. There's nothing else in the catalog like it. This narrow neck allows for a deeper pulse after orgasm. Have you ever noticed your body pulses after orgasm? That pulse is your Kegel muscle. It's a natural Kegel every time you orgasm, okay? We know how important Kegels are. I said Kegel and I know you did one. Pay attention to your body.
I sure did.
What I want you to pay attention to is what muscles you're actually flexing. Most people, when they're exercising their Kegels, are flexing anal muscles and abdominal muscles. It's actually very difficult to isolate your Kegel muscle, okay? This narrow neck takes all the question out of it. Upon orgasm, every orgasm is a Kegel, but if this is what you're orgasming with, it's deeper, which is going to give greater pleasure. It's also going to be a deeper flex for greater strength. That muscle, in my opinion, is one of the most important in your bodies. It keeps you continent. I think all of us prefer dry pants. It controls pleasure. I think we all want the greatest pleasure possible, right? And 3, it keeps all of your female organs in the right places. If that muscle becomes weak and relaxed, everything inside responds to gravity too, and things start to come down. Things can prolapse, your vagina can come out. Okay? That muscle is so important. I've sadly heard women tell me, you know, married for 12 years, I've never orgasmed, but that's okay, I don't need to. Yes, you do.
Or
Not only for pleasure, it's a health condition, okay? Something to consider. So, main attraction, it's also on 2 separate motors, so you can stimulate inside and outside at different intensities, okay? Any questions about toys?
no.
You're like, I heard it all, I love it all, but here's,
She's like, story. Where's the story?
down at the bottom of your list, you can see it says, remember, TLC for all accessories. T stands for toy tote, okay? If you've seen some of these peeking out of my bag. Make sure, again, you get one vagina. Take care of it, okay? This TLC is like the insurance for your toy and your vagina. T stands for tote. These little toy totes are lined with a microbial satin. It can be washed 25 times in your washer and still keep its microbial sanitary properties, okay? It is. This would be a home for 1 or maybe 2 accessories that you can keep apart from each other. Don't just throw a bunch of silicone toys in one place. They melt together like gummy bears, okay? So this would be a home for 1 or maybe 2. You can separate them and fold them so they don't touch each other in storage, okay? So T is for tote, L is for lubricant. Make sure you lubricate properly. The Just Like Me water-based lubricant is safe across the board for all accessories. Pure Pleasure has now been FDA approved safe for our silicone accessories. I can't guarantee our silicone lubricant with other silicone accessories in other stores, okay? But I can guarantee them for ours. And then C in TLC is for cleaner. You brush your teeth with toothpaste. If you run out of toothpaste, none of you have ever gone and grabbed Dawn soap to brush your teeth with, right? As we know, Dawn soap doesn't belong here. Doesn't belong here either. It's actually a very drying agent, okay? Our cleaner is called Come Clean. It's kind of funny. It's a really low maintenance spray. So all you have to do after you've used an accessory, give it a good little rub down in some hot water, give it a rinse, spray it with the cleaner, give it another good rub down and rinse it. It not only sanitizes your toys, it also hydrates them, keeps them nice, and you felt as they came around how soft they were. They'll stay in really good condition.
And it's really inexpensive.
Yeah. It is, and it goes a long way.
Yeah.
If
it's
any
really
of
nice
you,
for the hand.
I was gonna say, do you use it on the hand drive?
Yeah.
hand drive, anything
Yeah.
silicone. That includes a Diva cup. If anybody here use menstrual cups, okay, those are usually silicone. If you have silicone kitchen things like pans or oven mitts or anything silicone, our silicone cleaner will clean it better than anything you've ever used. Okay? Here's what I want to end with. It's not just a matter of knowing how everything works. You've just heard a lot about where everything is, you know, how things come together, and a lot of anatomical things that maybe you can put some pieces together. At the end of the day, it's not a matter of how they work, it's how you think about them. Especially as women, it really is all up here. If no one's ever given you permission to learn about sexual health and about desire, give yourself permission to become a student of it, okay? Our founder, Patty Brisbane, has written a book. It's called Pure Romance Between the Sheets. This is an excellent starting point. I have a whole list of other ones that I could recommend if it's something you really want to dig into. But really, if sexual desire is something that you're challenged with, that you want to overcome and improve, become a student of it. Learn about it, okay? It can become a very empowering point in your life. So that's a fun option as well. Okay? Any questions?
If you had to suggest one thing on the blacklist that you haven't talked about, what's your one thing you'd take off the that list?
That's an excellent question.
That's relevant.
I've never had that question. You're smart. Go about halfway down. This is called Great Head.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Great Head. This is an oral favor gel. We don't call them jobs for no reason, right? Probably not your favorite thing to do.
Thank you. My husband thinks I'm crazy.
You're not
No,
crazy.
tell them you're normal.
You're actually quite normal.
Like, oh my gosh.
They're not fun for most women, but he loves them. He will enjoy them if you will do it more often, right? So Great Head is an oral favor gel. This is for your benefit. It's not necessarily for him, other than you will maybe want to do it more often. But this is for your benefit. Two things it helps with. Number one is discomfort. If you have any gag reflex or experience other sort of discomfort with it doesn't numb it. Actually, nothing in our catalog numbs anything. You should not be numbed for anything sexual. But it does create a coating similar to a cough drop. If you have a raw throat, or a tickle that you just can't get over when you suck on, or maybe like some of the throat sprays, it creates a coating. Same concept, okay? This is going to give you just a little bit of help with the discomfort. Also flavor. No one loves the flavor of original penis, right? There's no ice cream, there's no candy, there's no treat in the world with that flavor, for a good reason, okay? So this helps with flavor.
Owen's making original penis. That's awesome. It's so true.
So, the way you use it, pea-sized dab again. Most of our things, the logo's a long way. All you need is a pea-sized dab. Put it on your tongue, rub your tongue on the top of your mouth, and then swallow it. Don't lube him up with that. You will choke on it, okay? Literally, pea-sized dab, it's all you need. This is a raspberry flavor. I also have a lemonade flavor.
That one's good.
Some people do the raspberry and they buy the lemonade and they put them together for raspberry lemonade. The lemonade is like lemon head candy, spot on. It's like a little pucker, okay? It's got a good little sour taste. We also have a green apple that's like green apple Jolly Ranchers. So super fun flavors, okay? That would be my probably number one recommendation from the blacklist. Okay, any other questions? Okay, that's the end of my presentation. So thank you for being here. A couple of housekeeping items. Number one, as I mentioned, I brought the store with me, right? It's not required for our consultants to carry inventory, but as you just experienced, I got you excited about some things. And I don't want to send my people home empty-handed. It's not fun for anyone. So I do carry an inventory. Everything on your list you will likely go home with tonight, okay? Just keep in mind there's a corporate shipping and handling order policy on every order. Doesn't matter if it's a $20 order or a $200 order, $7 flat rate, okay? Tonight you can consider it a convenience fee. I'm not shipping it to you. I had it shipped in advance so you can walk home with it, okay? I accept all forms of payment. That includes Venmo, cash, card, anything. We can split them among them if we need to, okay? And then last but not least, I like to play another little game to kind of wrap things up, because what I have found is whether it's your first party or your second dozen party, women watch me and they think, I would love to do what Dani Todd does. Or maybe you have a friend or a sister, someone who was born to do what I do. You can see them in my shoes. I get a lot of questions about being a consultant, questions about the business. I love those questions. This business has been a great blessing in my life, and I love to share it with people. I used to just have those conversations in the shopping room, and I found very quickly they were always the same questions, right? Which took more time in the shopping room, which meant other people had to wait longer. So at the end of every party, I like to open it up for a few minutes to answer any questions you have about the business, okay? I will give you a little ticket for every question that you ask. If all you want is a ticket, I have the most frequently asked questions printed for you. I only have 7, so I'm going to skip the ones that I already know. You don't have to ask any of these questions. These are not obligatory. It's just your socialist opportunity for a ticket if you want one, okay? So if you have questions, now is your time.
Is it like a buy-in? Do you have to pay like X amount of dollars and buy X amount of product, and then you can start sending, like selling your own?
Being a consultant. So we have 3 starter kits, and you do purchase a starting kit, but the minute you buy that starter kit, you're considered a consultant, and then you have access to do whatever you choose with it.
Do you take home I got all the questions.
Do it.
Questions are great.
Do you take home just like a percentage of sales, or?
So you do, depending on the kit you buy, the smallest kit gives you a 30% buying discount, which translates into commission, okay? The small kit gives you 30%, the middle kit gives you 40%, the biggest kit gives you 45%. The most popular kit is the middle kit, starting at the 40%. Did you have a question?
When do you get paid?
When do you get paid? The minute something sells. So I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm literally like a traveling boutique. I'm just a traveling store. And just like any other store, they have a wholesale cost. They stock their shelves based on things that they bought with wholesale cost. When it sells for retail, that margin is what they pocket. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the minute something sells, that's when I make my money.
Is there an annual fee?
So what happens is you buy a kit, it gives you that buying discount. To keep that buying discount, there's a required minimum of $200 retail value generating every 60 days. You're not paying $200, you're buying $200 value with a discount, whatever that discount is. So every 60 days, as long as that generates, you keep your discount. And that's all that's required.
Am I required to work a certain amount of time?
No, that's the best part. One of my favorite parts. That's actually one of the biggest reasons I did decide to leave realty, because especially as a mom, I've got 4 little kids and I wanted to be my own time manager. So, okay. Yeah.
How soon can I move up into a leadership position?
Okay, how soon can you get up into a leadership position? In pure romance, leadership position is considered when you reach 3 people on your team. Some people do that within the first month or 2 of business. I have some girls who've been in business for 3 years and are just hitting that. It's really your own pace and whatever you're putting in to achieve it.
So follow-up question. That's like 3 people signing up underneath
Under you.
as a consultant.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as those 3 people sign up under you, no matter what kit you bought, you get bumped to a 50% buying discount. Okay?
How much does it cost to get started?
How much does it cost to get started? So that's probably the most popular question. Those 3 starter kits. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the tricky part because they always have different sales. And they just finished one on Sunday, and I've been on spring break, so I haven't checked again. But the first kit gives you $500 of product. It's usually in the $200 range. The middle kit, which I mentioned is most popular, gives you $1,000 of product, and it's usually in about the $400 range. So, and obviously the bigger kit is not as popular. So that's one I don't know off the top of my head. That middle one is most common. Okay?
This is more personal, but how many parties do you usually host?
That's a great question. So, it's somebody else's ticket. Did somebody else have that little question?
Oh no.
Okay, so I am considered a full-time consultant, which only 20% of our consultants worldwide are full-time. 80% of consultants are usually doing something else full-time, or they just do this as a hobby on the side. As a full-time consultant, I party 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Most consultants party between 4 and 6 times a month.
Okay.
So at home, how much preparation is that? Do you feel like hours out of
Outside of partying.
outside of parties?
Mm-hmm. So again, my numbers are bigger because I do this full time, and I've got a bigger business now. My system, I wake up in the morning and I get my kids going, and I usually just work in the morning from like 9 to noon, and then I leave my office and I'm a mom the rest of the day. So for me, that equals about 15 hours. It's usually less than that, but that's maximum. I won't let myself work more than that, or I'm defeating the purpose of me being in this to be a full-time mom, right? But that's also me managing hundreds of clients and a lot of business. So I work less than full-time and I make more than part-time. Excuse me, I work less than part-time, make more than full-time. So, okay? Other
Do you
questions?
have to do training? This says how do I get trained?
No, there's no training required. It's really just based on your goals, what you want to focus on.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yep, my phone number's right there. Usually shadows. Shadowing is an excellent way to get like hands-on in-person training, but we also have all the resources online for anybody who wants to just train at home as well. Okay?
How do you know what type of party to throw? Like you kind of got a feel for us and then decided I'm gonna go with the pink list.
No, I usually, so the pink list is most common. It's actually probably what I did when I met you, right? It's usually, especially because here there were more party virgins, and like I said, a lot of people come in and they're like, I don't know where to start. And I'm like, anything on the pink list, just focus on the pink list. Once you have everything in the pink list, jump to things in the black list, right? But also because most of you were new to me. Usually the black list comes into play when, if somebody here was like, I want to have a party, but these are all my same friends, I'd say then, let's do a black party. So even if all of you got together tomorrow, we'd show you new products. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's my own, not many consultants do that. So it's your choice how you choose to run it, but that's the way that I do.
What do you like most about your pure romance business?
I love that question. I love that I get to manage my own time. I get my own buying discounts because I am my best client. The freedom, the empowerment, it's amazing the mission of Pure Romance and the woman that I've become solely from being a part of this company. There are some women I could put in front of you that if you knew them 3 years ago when they joined, you would never even imagine the confidence that has come from what this business does for them. So, but being mushy me, the biggest thing is that I love to be a full-time mom, that no one will ever take that away from me. So, okay, any other questions? I keep checking to make sure I give everybody tickets. Everybody got a rifle ticket? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Look at those tickets, and if you have more questions, we can talk in the shopping room. Look at your tickets, they have numbers on. So I'm just gonna toss these around and pull one out. Last four numbers, 8908.
Oh,
So, they're same size, they're different things. Just grab in here, reach in and grab. Okay, so this is a sample of the coochie.
Sweet.
If you want to take it home and just use it as a sample to see if everybody is telling the truth, you can keep it just as a sample. If this is something that you are interested in, you want to take a real coochie home tonight, you can trade this in as a $3 coupon to order real size, okay?
Cool.
Okay, we need to thank our hostess, Megan, for having us here.
Thank
Thanks to Megan. My hostesses are my world. They're the backbone of my business, and I like to take very good care of them. I'm so grateful for them. They never pay full price for anything. So as the hostess tonight, Megan's getting a few things. Number one, the heart massager.
Oh,
You
yeah!
get $5 off, right? We get $5 off, and don't forget it, okay? It's like a coupon. You gotta redeem it, because I will forget. But this is a gift to you.
Thank
You can keep the heart
now I have
massager.
more than one to-
Yes. Okay, my hostess always keeps the massage heart. She also gets 10% of the party sales in free products. So that's how you end up thanking her when you treat yourself. It banks into a free shopping spree for Megan tonight. You may have noticed my pleasure chest up here.
So good.
It's so good.
There are
you
good
guys.
things in
It's
here,
worth
okay?
spending the money.
How do you get to look in the pleasure chest? If you treat yourself to $150 or more, you get to look in the pleasure chest and choose any one thing for free as a thank you from me, okay? And you will not be dissatisfied when you look in this box. If you reach $250 in product, you get to choose something from the box for free and get one additional item, any one additional item in the catalog for 40% off, okay? So those are some thank yous for me.
My husband said I can spend as much as
Yeah. That's usually how it goes. So that's going to bake into a shopping spree for Megan. When that 10% of party sales is spent, if there's anything more that Megan wants tonight, she's going to get 40% off everything.
Cool.
Did you not even know
I
that?
did not hear that part last time.
Yep. 40% off everything. So we'll make sure to hook you up, okay? So, if any of you are interested in having your own party, that's what you would get as well, okay? And we'll talk in the shopping room. So, the last thing I need from you, and I will zip my lips. I'll give some catalogs. You can shop, you can try on lingerie, all the fun things. Pull your phones out. I think I already have Katie and Megan's information here, right? But the rest of you that are new for me, this is basically a digital order form. Okay, if you'll pull up your phone, text FUN to this phone number. This is real life me.
Your number.
Hey, this one. I was wondering, there were a lot of confused faces. I was like, let me explain.
I know, so I don't remember that one.
Okay, text fun to this phone number. This is my real life phone number, but it's linked to an app which makes it possible for me to prompt an initial conversation. It's going to ask for your name, your phone number, your address. I'm not shipping anything to you unless you order something. And when something comes to you in the mail, it will be discreet. It will not say pure romance, anything that makes it look conspicuous, okay? So go through this little prompt conversation. I think there's 8 or 9 questions. The very last thing you will see from me is a little graphic. It says thank you. It's a picture that says thank you with some flowers. When that picture shows on your screen, go ahead and flip it around. Let me see that picture, and I'll give you a catalog. That way I know that you've filled out that online order form, okay? This is real life me, so save this phone number. If you need help or refills or questions in the future, you can text me or call me here, okay?